your eyes when you feel moved to, and then if we can, collectively take one deep breath together. Such a perfect. I'm sorry this bottle is so big. It's like, it feels awkward. It's a perfect suggestion because it perfectly sets the stage in stillness for where we're going to move right into to finish up our weaving and play with aspects of the theory, aspects of the map, and what they tell us, what they inform us about territory of our own experience and beingness and leadership selves, if you will. This presentation's only going to offer one thing new to the mix, and that's going to be a tool that you can take home, have a handout. We're going to go through part of it, kind of try it out. Up to that point, at the end, I'm going to offer a review of what I've covered thus far through these sessions. I'm going to do the review in the context of leadership. Asking the question and inquiry that I've been holding for about 3 years. This presentation is probably a culmination of 3 years of just changes and modifications and new ideas, and kind of brings it all forward into 8 principles of, I don't like the word principles, 8 words nothing else is coming. Let's hold principles. What's that? I'm being choosy now. Let's use principles and we'll hold it lightly. It's 8 guiding principles of the path, long-term, over the course of your life as a developing being, towards truly embodying an integral leadership. We're back at the same place in so many ways. Every time we ask a question as big as this, what's perspective taking? What's leadership? What's integral leadership? What's sustainability, right? There's only 37 different definitions under the sun and 87 different approaches and 157 different systems and models and tools, right? How is one supposed to make sense of it? I see that as probably the most challenging and the most important challenge facing us as integral leaders. That is, figuring out what we do and how we make sense of all the other approaches. That's the most challenging, and less so is just this whole defining of what integral leadership is. How do we wade through all the models, all the tools, all the #1 bestsellers, all saying different things? It's like spiritual traditions. You know they're all talking about God, but why does it all sound so different? Same with leadership. I like to define integral leadership. This is my best. This is it. This is the best I got for you guys. Definition of integral leadership. Write it down. Integral leadership is like pornography. It's the best I can do. Why? It's really hard to define, but you know it when you see it. Right? That was taken from like some court battle in America. They're fighting. Congressman? Yeah. Integral leadership is hard to define. That's right. But you know when you see it, isn't that interesting? Just consider your own experience for a second. You've been in the presence of, I don't care how you define it, integral leadership. A truly, deeply moves you from the deepest place in your being leader, right? Bring that person, people to mind. What's that? Possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't get me started. bring that person to mind and release any sort of desire to define that person and just resonate with that presence that is so deeply moving to you. And ask yourself, how'd they do it? How'd they do it? How'd any of them do it? Who wants to offer up their person that came to mind? Oh my God. Oh my God, you bow. How do you do it? Any ideas? Spending 27 years in prison. All right, so that's the lesson for tomorrow. We're developing y'all now. Life experience. Tremendous, profound, ridiculous. Can't even wrap my head around it for a second. Won't even try life experience. Who else? From someone else. Churchill. Guys, another one. How do you do it? Just give me a nod eye.
He built his own home. I think that helps.
He built his own home.
Yeah. I think when you do material things, I think that gives a sort of rootedness to all your ideas and conceptualizations. At least that's how I experience it. When I build a boat and I build buckets and everything, that gives.
I resonate with that too.
Did you give birth to a child?
It's kind of like building a house. I hear. A little bit more painful. How'd they do it? There's no answer to that question. The distillation of it, how they do it, has something to do with, here we go again, development. It has something to do with development. It's not integral development. It's not that Churchill found himself on the map and then started from that place cultivating his stage and structure stage development. Of course he didn't. Churchill didn't have a map. The map's there as a tool. Use it, don't use it, don't use it. 3 months later, it'll crop back up in your awareness. Use it then. I love what Barrett said this morning about that. Barrett and I taught together for years. Come a long way. This is a great partnership. And beautiful, subtle, just I felt in your freaking being shift in the wording you used this morning when you said that the people you work with sometimes find this useful. This is a huge, I mean, stop if I'm putting too much into your experience, but where I'm feeling it is, it's a huge realization on your part. Through your experiences of bringing this to life in the world, about how we hold these tools, how we hold these maps, what we're grabbing onto so hard, so hard, and how that inhibits us, in some sense. So, sometimes useful. These leaders, all these great leaders, Churchill, Mandela, on and on, cultivated their own paths through life. We could look back and put it on the map for whatever reason we wanted to do that. But they carved their own path through life and they got to a place where they were able to embody the deepest, truest essence of their own unique self. And then they lived it. And that's why we resonate with them as great leaders. And the point that I want to emphasize there, highlight, is that is not achievable. A embodiment of your unique self, your true self, your unique and specific vision, your unique and specific talents, manifested in this human vehicle, this unique, radically subjective incarnation to do the work that you're here to do. That doesn't come from a workshop. It doesn't come from any amount of cognitive, let me explain it to you. That can help, sometimes useful. It comes from walking the path, development. So that's the lead-in to this sort of summary presentation on distilling this into leadership. This map